Hey guys, what's going on? Zach from All Strength Training. I'm gonna take you guys through an exercise called the hip airplane. Now the hip airplane is designed to focus on building strength in the external rotators in the hips, specifically the glute medius, and to create some stability for things like our single leg exercises. So this could be split squats, this could be single leg Romanian deadlifts. It even will carry over to a two-leg movement like a squat. So what we're gonna do is the base for this is gonna start very much like a Romanian deadlift. All right, so what I'm gonna do, when we do a Romanian deadlift, we're gonna bring one foot off the ground. We're gonna try to keep our hips very square with the floor in front of us. So I'm gonna get into this position with the hips back. I'm gonna find where my hamstring is kind of run out of range of motion. And that's where we're gonna start the actual hip airplane drill. Now I'm gonna show you the conventional hip airplane. I'm also gonna show you a regression if you struggle with balance for this. And you'll notice that I'm doing this with no shoes on. I would highly recommend doing this without shoes, just because, especially depending on the type of shoe you train in, if it's kind of spongy, it can throw your balance off, and when you see what I'm doing, it'll make sense. So I'm gonna go into this single leg Romanian deadlift. I find this position. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to create a turn from this bottom side's glute medius, so the outside of the glute. So I'm here. On my bottom foot, I wanna keep my big toe, my little toe, and my heel all firmly against the floor. What I'm doing is it's almost like I'm trying to push the floor away from me, and I'm rotating my hips. You see I'm turning my belly button. I'm allowing my back foot to also externally rotate, but I'm not twisting from this side. I'm twisting from down here. So I want to feel, I'm going to demonstrate at this side, this planted side is where I want to create the force. So I'm going to extend back, find this position, and then I'm going to, again, rotate, pushing the floor to the left so I can feel my left glute. I'm rotating just as far over as I can. It doesn't have to be a massive range, but I want it to be all in that left glute. So I rotate, and then I'm just gonna internally rotate to come back to a square position. But again, I want the movement to come from this side, so I'm not trying to turn back here. So again, I'll show it one more at a normal tempo, which is a pretty slow tempo, and I'll show you the regression. So I'm gonna go hips back, and then create some force from the bottom leg. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Again, I'm letting my elevated foot, I'm letting the toes turn. Stopping right about here. This is all the external rotation strength that I have. And then just rotate back to the middle. Again, to square up with the floor. And then I come back up. Now, if you have the stability for it, you could conceptually do several reps from this position, just back and forth. So I could go out, and then back again. But you can see the balance is pretty tricky, but you could. But especially if you've never done this before, what I would recommend is always just starting from the top and just do one rep at a time so you get those breaks, just to keep the balance side a little bit more chill. Now, one regression that we can do is just give ourselves a support from something. So I'm gonna put my back foot up on something. So I'm right here. Now I'm not very far away from the bench. My back leg's bent at roughly 90 degrees, but same thing, this leg is just resting here. So my hip's gonna go back, and then from this position, now same thing, I'm just rotating, but this back leg is giving me a little bit of stability, and it's taking a percentage of my weight. So now this one, with the extra support, you might find it's easier just to live in this position back and forth. But this is a great prep drill to do before squatting, deadlifting, single leg stance stuff. Doesn't have to be a ton of reps. Could maybe only 5-6 reps, maybe a round or two. You know, start small, build up to it, but this will help create stability at the hip for those other exercises. So give this a try. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you like this video, make sure you like our channel, subscribe to our page, and let us know what else you want to see.